Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining me once again for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination. You know how I love that combination. It's got that bergamot, a little bit of zing, really great in the morning. I'm getting to the end of it. I need another cup. Anyways, guys, if you want to pick up some of my teas, you can do that over at darkmoonteas.com, or you can head over to my website, JCristina.com. Go check them out over there. Also, anything that you pick up from me, don't forget, if you're subscribed, use promo code YT20 at checkout, and you will get 20% off everything in your shopping cart. So, today we're going to be talking about Panasonic and how, well, I might have been wrong, guys. I said Micro Four Thirds is going to be going the way of the dinosaur for months now, and according to someone internal that I'm going to get to Panasonic, they said that I was all wrong. Micro Four Thirds is going nowhere. So we will see. All right, we're going to go through a little bit of this and see where we're at, and I want to get your thoughts on it. What do you think is going to end up happening? And before we get into it, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded my ebook, go and check it out. You can find it over at JCristina.com/ebook. It's basically 10 tips at making tack-sharp images. I put this together a few years back, and it's just doing really, really well. There's just a ton of people downloading it. It's free. Go check it out. There's something in there for absolutely everyone. Amateur, pro-am, professional. You're going to learn something in there no matter who you are. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Go pick it up. Once again, it's free. So, Panasonic. Well, I was reading this article just recently over at Imaging Resource. The article was from, let me get the name right here, David Etchels, I believe it is. Might have butchered it like I always do with names. But anyways, the article was really good. It was an article about Panasonic. He actually did an interview with, I guess it's a director of imaging over at Panasonic. His name is Yosuke Yamane, and Yamane-San is that imaging business director that knows all, supposedly. So this is a pretty good interview, and there's a lot of information in there. They covered 3 topics. One, of course, is what we're going to be talking about. That is Micro Four Thirds. Where is it going? Also, the L-mount lineup and COVID. What is going on with COVID and Panasonic? How did it affect their manufacturing capacity, their supply chain, yada, yada, yada. So it was very interesting. What we're going to talk about, obviously, is the Micro Four Thirds. And during this interview, Yamane-san said that it's going nowhere. All right. Micro Four Thirds is going nowhere. If anything, they're going to be adding to it. Now, I want to quote something that he said here. He said, "There is some video footage which only Micro Four Thirds can realize in terms of optimal depth of field, mobility, zoom ratio, and so on." Depth of field, I don't get that, but we'll get into that later. Also, he continues with, so Micro Four Thirds is also a precious asset for us to cover video shooting needs. He goes on by saying, we are now studying how we're going to evolve GH series going forward to make the most of its advantages. So as you can see, Micro Four Thirds is obviously something that's top of mind over there at Panasonic, and they understand that it is let's call it a cash cow for them. They've made a lot of money on their GH line, for sure. Absolutely 100% the case. It reminds me of Canon and their M series, all right? For Canon to get rid of their M series would just make no sense. Why? Because they make a lot of money at it. Now, let's go on here. He also says, we are now studying the balance between full frame and Micro Four Thirds in terms of value, which we can provide by the large sensor size of full frame, or the value which we can provide by the compactness of Micro Four Thirds. By studying this balance, we are now considering the future development of this category. So, once again, they're looking at full frame and Micro Four Thirds and trying to find that balance between the two. Now, that makes sense, all right, because there's another company that does the exact same thing, and that company is Fujifilm. Fujifilm is a company that went from APS-C directly over to medium format and tried figuring out that balance between the two. They skipped full frame. Once again, APS-C directly over to medium format. And they've been doing a really good job with it. Now, if Fujifilm put together a full frame version of their X line, for example, there would be a lot of people that would jump on that bandwagon, so to speak, and I would probably be one of them. I really like the Fujifilm body. I like their structure. I like the way they use that old school, but literally bringing it to new school. I do like it a lot, and I like the images that are produced. And don't let me get started with the whole GFX line. That is a class leader, all right? There's no other medium format camera that gives you the value that Fujifilm's GFX line does. I'll get into that in another video. So once again, Fujifilm went from APS-C over to medium format and skipped full frame. Now, Panasonic seems that they're taking a page out of their playbook and doing a similar thing by going from Micro Four Thirds to full frame and skipping APS-C, and now trying to find that balance without APS-C in the middle. Now, I do think that that is a smart decision. Okay, but I think that it's a little bit different in this case in comparison to Fujifilm's case. Why do I say that? Well, Fujifilm is going from APS-C to medium format. So they don't have a lot of backside pressure. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, with Panasonic going from Micro Four Thirds to full frame, that backside pressure is phones. All right, you have a Micro Four Thirds sensor, which is much smaller, all right, than APS-C or full frame, obviously, but it's getting really close to the sensors that are going to be put into the new phones out there. That is a problem. So what happens is Micro Four Thirds, in my eyes, is going to be pressured from the backside from phones, all right, these smartphones. They're really going to start encroaching on Micro Four Thirds. Whereas Fujifilm, going from APS-C, doesn't have that pressure, because an APS-C sensor in comparison to a sensor in even tomorrow's phone, they're just not there. They're just not going to have the real estate to put an APS-C sensor into a phone, at least anytime soon. But Micro Four Thirds, it's a possibility. Once again, my thoughts are that, yes, where I see and I understand where Panasonic is going with this, and once again, ripping a page right out of Fujifilm's playbook that's doing really well, I do think that their bane here, once again, is those phones. The phones are really going to encroach on those sales of Micro Four Thirds. So they're going to have to go extremely cheap with them, or just somehow get some amazing value out of them, whereas they really fix the low light issues and, for God's sake, fix their autofocus system. All right. So do I think it's possible that Micro Four Thirds remains for the next year or two or even 3? Yes, I do believe so. Do I think that they're going the way of the dodo bird anytime soon? Probably not. But once again, I do think that they're going to be forced out by the phones. I want to know what you think about my comparison between Fuji and Panasonic. Do you think that is a valid argument, or do you not? Do you think that there will be a lot of that back pressure coming in from tomorrow's phones, the iPhone 15 or whatever, when we're getting sensors that are either as big or possibly even slightly bigger than a Micro Four Thirds inside a phone? All right. I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think also that Panasonic really needs to work on their low light as well as their AF system, their autofocusing system, all right, when it comes to their GH line? Also, where do you think the G9 stands in this whole schema? All right. I want to hear your thoughts. There's a lot of Panasonic guys out there that really got on me hard when I said, listen, Micro Four Thirds are going away and just forget it. And they just lost it, because there's a lot of people that like Micro Four Thirds because of the size. All right. And size is a lot of times an issue when you're traveling and you're trying to throw a camera up on a gimbal. All right. Or whatever. Size is an issue. All right. Size is an issue. So I do believe that there is a camera for every situation, but no one camera that is perfect for every situation. Okay. And that being said, there's going to be certain cameras that work out really well for certain projects, let's say, and then others for other. Now, I personally shoot medium format when I'm doing something that I need a lot of megapixels, good megapixels, large megapixels for doing post-production work after the fact. For example, with fashion work or magazine cover work or anything like that. Even sometimes product work where we want to take a wide shot and then be able to zoom all the way in and use that shot also without having to take numerous shots. Sometimes you don't have a model for that long. Sometimes you have products that you really don't need to take so many shots of. If you have a medium format shot that has a ton of quality pixels, you can zoom in and still be able to hold its quality for basically any size. All right? We do it a lot. When I said it's really great when we're talking about fashion, because sometimes we'll do a bust up shot and now they're selling, for example, a purse that's on someone's shoulder, and then later on in the same shot selling something that's on their head. So it could be earrings, maybe a necklace or whatever, and being able to zoom right in instead of having to take the 3/4 shot, taking like a full shot, taking in zoom shots and all kinds of other things. We can do it with just a single bust up shot. All right. So once again, there's value to everything. And you just have to figure out what you need the camera for so you know what to buy. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. As always, something short today, but I saw this in the news and I wanted to bring it to your attention and say, listen, I might be wrong here. Let me know. Was I wrong? Maybe not. Maybe so. Let me know. Anyways, once again, don't forget that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Share it with friends, family, loved ones, colleagues. Share the channel so that the YouTube gods can look kindly on this channel and possibly raise it up just a little bit. We're always looking for new subscribers and new people to talk to, new photographers to have this conversation with. So in the comment area, let's keep these comments going. You guys are brilliant. Put those comments in there. And then after, head over to our creative Discord server that we created where I hang out all the time. Go over to community.JCristina.com. Once again, it's community.JCristina.com. Sign up. It's free. Get into that Discord server. There's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photographers and videographers worldwide and creatives that just hang out there and just shoot it all day. So once the conversation is over here in YouTube, head over to, once again, community.JCristina.com. So before I go, don't forget to head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. And don't forget to use promo code YT20 at checkout. Once again, YT20 at checkout. You'll get 20% off everything in your shopping cart, no matter what it is. And click that little bell. All right, that bell is very important. Click that bell so that you'll be notified whenever I go live, whenever there's a new story on this channel or just a new video out, anything. Make sure you click that bell. Things have been kind of odd where notifications haven't been going out, so make sure that that bell is clicked. Even if you have already clicked it in the past, go check to make sure that it's still highlighted, clicked, so you get my notifications when they come out. So that's it, guys. That's it for me today. Thank you very much for being here, hanging out for tea time with me. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.